Alone in my bed, can't get you out my head. Cold, shivering, your touch would be heaven sent. Lord knows I felt this way before, but I can't take it anymore. It's evident that you're never coming back. Hello everyone, what is up? Welcome back to the vlog, and welcome to another Tuesday Tea and Tarot Talk, except I'm not actually going to film the Tuesday Tea and Tarot Talk right now. This is just the intro, you guys. This is just the intro. Because I don't have tea, I have beer. And I just have an idea. So I'm going to do a video about loneliness, because I'm so lonely. And I know it actually says I'm Mr. Lonely, but I don't hear it. And I want to make a video talking about my loneliness. The loneliness epidemic of my life. Of this past year recently. This 12th house perfection year. It's really hitting. It's you know, it's tugging at the heartstrings. It's tugging at the heartstrings, you guys. So, yes, the video you're about to watch is, of course, another Tuesday Tea and Tarot Talk. And I'm going to be using the Sola Busca Tarot. I think it's a nice tarot for talking about loneliness and being alone. And I actually tried to film a Tuesday Tea and Tarot Talk with the deck, but it wasn't working. But I think this one will. So let's see what the future holds, you guys. Who's excited? The future as in your present, right now. Okay, so it turns out that what the future holds is not what I expected. You know, which is to be expected. So I actually lied. One thing about me is I'm a liar. I'm a lying, backstabbing bitch, and I'm not going to be using the Sola Busca Tarot. I already used the Sola Busca Tarot to talk about loneliness. It wasn't perfect, but honestly, loneliness is not a perfect, happy, you know, thing to talk about. So I think I'm going to leave it the way it stands. If you want to see that video, you're going to have to watch till the end of this video. Not really, you can just go click the link in the description, but I'd appreciate it if you did watch this video, because I'm going to be talking about something else that I really want to talk about, and it's life and death, specifically lizards and the lessons of life. That's what I'm going to be titling this video, because you know, I recently experienced 2 deaths. First, it was the passing of my aunt's dog, who I'm the aunt with whom I'm living. So he was kind of like, you know, my dog. Well, not really, but you know, he was there. I saw him every day. He recently passed away. Rest in peace, Peter. And then a few days ago, actually now, only just a few days ago, my great uncle passed away. Rest in peace. And both occasions, both times, just like honestly the day after, actually I think it might have been the day of, and on both occasions, I was visited by a lizard. And you know, it's not uncommon to see lizards, you know, on this, where I live. There are lizards here, but just, I think it was the same day that Peter died, or maybe a day after, there was a tiny little lizard that like came into the house. And in my time that I've been here, I've never seen a lizard in the house. I see lizards outside all the time. But when I saw the lizard in the house, and he was specifically in the front of the house, which is where Peter would like to go. He would like to wait, because he'd like to wait by the door to try to, you know, escape. So I saw this lizard, and to me that was like Peter, you know, his essence, his energy, part of him, you know, saying goodbye, because I didn't really get to say goodbye. I woke up and he was dead. My aunt, luckily, she was with him as he, stopped breathing. But I was asleep, and I just woke up to the news that he was dead, and I saw him there, and it was really sad. But I didn't really think much of it, I was like, oh, that lizard was definitely, Peter visiting, but it wasn't until maybe a week or two later, week and a half later, I think either the day of or the day after I, heard about my great uncle's passing, I was in the pool. I was cleaning the pool with the net, and on this net was a lizard, and it was a much bigger lizard. It actually scared me. At first, I was just like, I think it was on the net when I picked it up, and I brought it to the pool unknowingly. But I guess when I put it in the water, it started to freak out and was trying to get away, and I just saw this huge thing moving. I got scared. I was I dropped the net thing, and then I have a video. I'll probably insert a clip of the video somewhere in this video, maybe here. But I saw this lizard, and of course made me think of the tarot, because why wouldn't it? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're talking about lizards and the lessons of life, and how lizards in the tarot represent life and life cycles and death and rebirth. And yeah, so there's 3 cards that I want to talk about, because there are 3 cards. They may not be the only 3 cards, but they're 3 cards that I can think of that have lizard imagery on them. And all 3 of them are court cards from the suit of wands. We have the page, the knight, and the king of wands. And so for all 3 of them, it's these lizards on the fabric. And it's lizards sort of in the shape of a circle, eating their tails, or sometimes not quite eating their tails. But yeah, lizards in the shape of a circle. And then all 3 of them have these lizards in the shape of a circle on their cloth. And on the king, he has it on the cloth, he has it on his chair, and there's also a lizard down here. And so I think the circle obviously represents, the cycle of life, and how it is a cycle. It's you live and then you die. And who knows what happens after that, but life goes on. And I think it eating itself is sort of kind of that idea of rebirth or regeneration, because I believe that lizards they can regenerate their tails, to avoid being captured by predators. Their tails come off easily, and so I believe they can regenerate them, and it's just really interesting. Yeah, so why do these court cards, specifically the fire court cards, have this lizard imagery? And I think it I also think of dragons breathing fire, and that's sort of a relation I have with fire and lizards. But I also think it's that fire can live forever if given the things it needs to survive. If it's constantly being fed fuel, and it has access to oxygen and other things that a fire needs to go, it'll keep going, it'll keep consuming, it'll keep being alive. But fire can be stomped out, and that's life. We can only go for as long as we have the things we need. And it's sad, but we're not meant to live forever. At least not in the, you know, real sense. I guess in like an idea sense, like maybe our, something we've done in our lives can live forever, and, you know, like through pictures or through words, we can be remembered. But as like a human experience, we're not meant to live forever. And that's okay. It sucks, it's sad, and it's hard to deal with. But it's part of life. And life is scary. I think that's why the lizard scared me. To, you know, remind me that life is scary, and it's meant to be scary sometimes. And fear isn't a bad thing. I want to talk about, in like another video, because I don't really want to get into it right now, but I want to talk about fear and like the color red, and maybe like other colors and like emotions. But I personally have a fear of the color red, which is interesting as I drink my red little drink. I don't really like to wear red very often. I have a red ink pen that I don't really love to write in. It's a very powerful thing, probably because it's so bright and it's kind of like fiery. And fire it burns. It hurts. Yeah, let me think if I wanted to touch on anything else. You know, death is inevitable. And so we have to live how we want to, and the lives we want to. And it's important to remember that, and not just get consumed by, you know, maybe the darkness or the sadness, because life is worth living and you are important. And that, I think, is the lesson that the lizard is teaching me in this moment, is that, you know, one day your tail will run out. You won't have any more tails to eat. So you have to just make the most of it while you can. Yeah, that's, I think, all I have to say. Hopefully you enjoyed this maybe somber episode. If you want to see my episode on loneliness, it's in the link in the description. Like I said, it's an unlisted video. I wanted to, you know, see who the true, real fans are who are watching the videos. But I think I'll, like, in a week, maybe I'll just make it public or something. So I can take a break from making another Tuesday Tea and Tarot Talk or something, I don't really know. But yeah, so go watch that video, and thank you so much for watching this video. It wasn't really a tarot talk, I mean, it was a little bit, but it was mostly just talking, rambling, because life is interesting, and yeah, that's all I have to say. Bye now. Hello everyone, if you're watching this, it means you made it to the end of my loneliness Tuesday Tea and Tarot Talk. And if you remember at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that I tried to film a Tuesday Tea and Tarot Talk with the Solabusca Tarot. And you know what, I decided that, you know, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, I'm actually going to let you watch the video. I'm going to let you watch the video. It's in the link in the description. It's in the link in the description. It's in the link in the description. It's an unlisted video, so you have to watch this video to the end if you want to see that video. Or I guess you maybe just have to go to the description and click on the video. I think I'm going to call it fail. Because I failed. I just gave up at the end. but you know, it's the first attempt in learning. And I want to change that definition. Not that it's a definition, but people say, like, instead of seeing things as failures, you can call it a first attempt in learning. FAIL, first attempt in learning. But, you know, it's not always the first time that you fail. Sometimes you fail on the second time, or the third time, or the fourth time, or the fifth time, and it kind of gets, like, really sad and upsetting. So I want to change it, because it's not only the first time that you're bound to fail. You know, sometimes you can fail anytime you try. So I want to change it to a fighting attempt in learning, because you're fighting to win. You're fighting your best. You're doing your best, but you know you're gonna fail, because it's inedible. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. So yeah, go watch that video if you want, or don't. Follow your heart. Peace and love, or I guess peace and love.